All right, welcome to Lane Switching. This is our first ever episode. Very excited. If you don't know much about the page, we're all about supporting Ottawa hip hop and local athletes as well. Everyone in the Ottawa hip hop scene and everyone in the Ottawa sports scene. This is an interview segment we kind of started just on the YouTube page. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you're ready for a lot more content on the way. But without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get to the point, and I'm here with my guy, Shotta, for our first ever interview.
What up?
Welcome to the web, my guy.
What up? What's
Man,
up?
I appreciate it a lot. Like, this is pretty dope. It's first ever show with guest. We're gonna obviously have a lot more guests coming on, but yeah, my guy Shotta saw him perform at 613 Takeover not too long ago. Pretty dope set, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So
Appreciate
just
you,
to start off,
appreciate
let's give a quick intro, like who
Yeah.
you are and your upbringing in Ottawa and stuff.
Well,
even before then.
Well, actually, I wasn't born in Canada. I was actually born in Abu Dhabi, but I came here when I was like 8, 9, and I actually grew up in the West over in Ritchie. Then ended up leaving Canada for certain reasons, and we can get into that more later on. But that was around 2006, and then I came back around 2019, and I was doing the music scene over there as well for a while, and then I decided when I came back here I was going to continue it as well. And my name is actually, for those who know me, my government, that's a whole different other thing, but everybody knows me as Bullet.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole Shotta thing comes from stories that come with it, like the whole background of why I left Canada and things. But I mean, yeah, that's who I am personally when it comes to the music scene, but as a person.
That's dope. And what got you started in music?
Oh, wow. Just the love of boom bap when it first, started off in like the era of like G-Funk.
Oh, yeah.
Where beats were more, I guess, bouncier, and you had more of a just rhythm. It was more based on rhythm. And as well, like when I got here, this was back in the like CD Walkman days, all the albums that I had at that time were like actual hip hop, fresh, like were like literally Biggie and stuff, things of that nature, you know what I mean? So I got in tune with hip hop, and then when I got over there, like back in Abu Dhabi, and I was working, I just decided to like make music more towards the energy that I was vibing with over there. Whereas when I came here, I started doing it with like a whole different other language and stuff. But yeah, music is just the whole thing of making, like, writing a verse and hearing a beat out, or actually getting a catchy hook here and there. Just the process of it, it's intriguing.
Most definitely. And obviously you mentioned a name like a Biggie. Who was kind of like the first rapper that kind of got you into hip hop? The first rapper you were like, fuck, this guy's
well, from lyrical point of view,
yeah,
for me, I would say, like, I grew up in the era of like when hip hop became more towards like dealing and selling and stuff like that. So I was inspired by like a T.I., by like Akon, for example, by certain characters that had vocals but also rapped and had the whole all around basic knowledge of how to make a song.
Mm-hmm.
So but I grew up listening, like, my biggest inspiration, this is no cap, I'll keep it real, like one of my biggest inspirations as a kid here growing up in Ottawa, I would have to say Belly, because for me, like, I used to go to the barbershop where like you would see his first mixtapes there and shit, things of that nature. And I used to remember like the first mixtapes and stuff that he had going on. Like he had a series, it was called DBD, Death Before Dishonor, and it was like one of those mixtapes that you got for like a low price, but it was also just the pride of having somebody from here that you could say, oh shit, he spits that way. You pick up on it and whatnot. But yeah, I could say those are some inspirations.
I saw actually Belly, City Fidelity had that new song come out with Drum or Shelly.
Shout out to City Fidelity.
That's a big moment for sure. But Belly kind of just said, he was like, Ottawa is one of the hardest cities, if not the hardest city to come out
Facts. 110, 150%. Like Ottawa's, it's not even from the Ottawa scene. It's the fact that there's no media outlets that promote the actual music over here as heavy as you would expect.
Yeah.
There is no serious investment into the music scene here, whereas you would get, for example, in like a New York or Toronto or you know what I mean, like outskirts. It's just there's not a big push towards getting artists out of Ottawa.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think when it comes to sports, the NFL is so good at marketing because they market their players and they put
Of
their
course.
players who are the stars on the map. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, even as much as the Ottawa company or a media outlet might try in Ottawa to put people on, there's only so much focus you can put on one artist at once. And so with so many talents coming out of the city and so many different voices to be heard, it's kind of hard to encapsulate the whole city and get everyone in, you know?
Well, I mean, in that sense, yes, but I mean, it's weird. Like, I was watching all the performances that were popping off this summer, left and right, and surprisingly, none of them had anything to do with radio stations. For example, you had the event that I performed at. You had the Roadrunner.
Yep.
Shout out to Cap City. You had you had a few shows that popped off right now, and no radio involvement at all. Like, when I say no radio involvement, I mean no promotional ads from the radio. There was no investment financially towards the events from the radio stations.
Yeah.
Whereas in, for example, maybe bringing the own artists, or, I mean, God knows, I don't know how the Blues Fest was run, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there might have been a radio involvement for sure.
Yeah.
But not to the extent that it should be. They should have a higher presence.
Yeah.
When it comes to promoting the artists in Ottawa.
And what do you kind of think the problem is? Just there's not really a lot of hip hop radio in Ottawa, or is it that it's kind of whitewashed?
No, I would say hip hop radio, and I would say budget. I would say budgeting towards bringing premier artists, like artists coming up at the moment. Budgets towards bringing them are not accommodated due to the fear of no recompensation for it, which I get it. But you don't get no W's without L's.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I mean, it happens, especially in this business, music, period. So if they had more of that going on, I mean, maybe. I mean, who am I to say, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Whoever gets artists here, they're doing their job.
Yeah.
Whoever is able to bring any artist to Ottawa, because Ottawa's not on a high scale like it should be. Yeah. It's not like it's the capital, but it's not really known.
Yeah.
It's an unknown capital.
I mean, if you ask most Americans, they think the capital is Toronto.
Yeah, no, that's not just Americans. It's worldwide. I mean, like, it's the same scenario. Like, if I told you right now in UAE, do you know what UAE is? UAE is the
Middle East?
Yeah, Middle East, but it's the country in which, like, in where Dubai is located. But yet Dubai is not the actual capital.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like the Toronto thing. Toronto's the biggest city in Canada, but it's not the capital. So I just think they don't have it to be blown up like that. They haven't reached that high scale.
And unfortunately, we've heard it like a million times, but about it kind of being a government city, and that's kind of subduing the culture and subduing the entertainment out here and the budget into the entertainment.
I agree.
The fear of marketing something.
I agree. But in a sense as well, it doesn't mean there should be a blockade towards artists promoting themselves within the city. Like, for example, we don't have, hypothetically, like, you see on Eaton Street, you see how they got the big sign where City Fidelia got us, you know what I mean? Respect, shout out to City Fidelia again. Like, we don't have that over here, downtown. We don't have sort of a musical aspiration over here, or something like big over here to say, you know what, we're with it. You know, we'll post the up and coming artists or whoever is out here. Like, it's not to that extent that it should be.
Yeah, most definitely. And hopefully with, obviously with technology advancing and just social media being so much easier to market yourself.
Yep.
And hopefully, there'll be other voices that will allow Ottawa artists to get a bigger platform. You know, that's the goal.
it
For
is
sure.
happening. It is happening. I
Yeah.
mean, you can see like there's a few people out there that are already, they made that noise. I mean, like for example, like I said earlier, I mean, Belly was able to get out of here and do
Yeah.
that. I mean, he's not the only one. I mean, it is your talent, including your dedication, hard work. So
Yeah, most definitely. And just kind of getting back to it, like, how did you end up deciding, or was Bullet Shotta your
mhm.
original rap name?
Well, actually, my first rap name was Bullet Top Shotta, and I took out the top part because I wanted the name to just flow,
Yeah.
easy, and I went with Bullet Shotta because actually the Shotta part comes from not just actually being gangster and whatnot. It comes from, I mean, if anybody out there has ever seen the movie Shottas, they've been deported and they came back. So that's kind of my situation. I mean, I guess it's an oxymoron where you got like your history that speaks for you, and like me being deported is where that name came out of, Shotta. And the bullet came from just who I am as a person. When I grew up, I was writing quick. I was, you know what I mean. I had my own lifestyle, and it went along with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So tell us, kind of, obviously just kind of alluded to it a little bit, but tell us a little bit, like, how did that go down? How did the whole deportation thing happen?
no. Unfortunately, me and my older brother, we used to get into a little bit of shenanigans here and there. I
Most
mean,
definitely.
so within time, ended up having immigration problems, and then a special person out there ended up informing, you know, people out there that these people are not legal and whatnot, and they asked and whatnot. And, I was like the whole family. It wasn't just me. It was me and other family members that were deported together, and then by the grace of God, we were all able to come back due to, I guess, the system and working proper paperworks and reapplying. And it all worked out, but it took a long gap. It took about 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
So what was the initial year you were deported?
June 6th, 2006. Yep. It was about a month ago from now, and it will be our 14 or 15 year anniversary on
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, it was horrible actually.
Yeah.
I had
most
immigration bust into my house and take me when I was 16 years old. I had an apartment over up on Codwell.
Yeah.
Because I was no longer living in the hood and I had to leave there. And then when it was time for deportation, it just came and all I saw was the vests. But I mean, it was a long story, but I was a kid and
Yeah.
we just got, taken. And
I mean, most importantly is that, you made something out of it. You came back to Canada.
oh yeah, it wasn't easy.
You're
It wasn't.
grinding.
Yeah, of course. And it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything's meant for a reason. Like I got friends that are, gone. I've got friends, lost their lives, and I do this music thing not just for the sake of family and stuff and all that. It's therapy. Like it's actually therapy. Like making music is actually therapy, and the only reason I would actually continue to do music consistently as much as I can is for the fact that if I don't do it, I don't have a sense of release for what I'm dealing with currently in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important.
It's like music for me is more therapeutic. It's not like I don't do it just for the sake of, oh wow, that's cool, or hey. I mean, every person at the end of the day, whatever artist says they're making money out of music consistently, and that's their only income. I mean, as we would say over here, cap. Because you have to. You have no other choice. I don't care what it is. I'm not stating any of that, but I'm saying in general, you gotta have a reason for doing the music thing. If it's only just for money, that's not gonna be the greatest outcome you're gonna get out of it.
No.
Trust me.
No, and again, you said unfortunately losing friends and family members.
Yeah.
You grew up around a very well-known name in Ottawa, Shylock.
Yeah.
What was your relationship with him?
Rest in peace, Shylock. It was funny. You ever had that one friend? Well, I don't know. Most people have this experience, but I had that one friend. You get into a fight with in the neighborhood as a kid.
Yeah.
And then you guys grow up to be best friends. And you end up fighting people, and you know what I mean. Like, end up holding each other down through schools and shit. You know what I mean? But he was cool people. He was actually one of the first people to actually try. Well, aside from Gutta King, he was the only guy who actually tried to do the whole music thing. Actually, it's funny because the year that I got deported, actually that summer was the year that they shot the music video, the first music video ever in the West, and it was called "Got That Fire." It's a very old video. I think it was shot by Street Dreams Production. But yeah, that year is when I got deported out of Canada, and so I mean that was a good friend of mine. He was good people. It was funny, hilarious. You know, do some dumb shit from time to time. We robbed the store one time. I mean, what's that shit called? The law where you can't bring up something that's been like 10 years.
Statute limitation.
Statute of limitations, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the statute of limitations is definitely over on that shit. So
Oh yeah.
I can definitely say that mission that we would call missions as a youth.
Yeah.
That mission was hilarious because he walked in and he took a whole shopping rack of bags of chips and just walked out with that shit. We were kids, so
Yeah.
well, yeah, it was dumb shit like that, funny shit. But he was good people's
Yeah. Most definitely.
big at heart, funny, and a soldier too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So you've obviously shot a few music videos yourself.
right.
When was the first music video you shot?
Oh, it was in Dubai. It was actually not Dubai. It was in Abu Dhabi. I shot it, and it was Bullet featuring Maze. It was called They Think, and that was the first video I actually shot, like in a professional manner, where it wasn't like my homie's camera,
Yeah.
or it was like phone, whatever shit we used to do back in the days. This was actually shot with a proper camera. We had the lighting, the cars, the whole whoop-de-whoop, the house, the DJ set, the background with the old vinyls, all that shit. But I mean, at that time, yeah, we even shot them like in scenes under the bridge. But I was a kid at that time. I was only 19, 20, and I had no clue how to really adapt to over there. We're trying to make music that would be bumping over here.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of drifted off over there and didn't really make the adjustments that I'm making now musically. Whereas now, I mean, most of them, like I've got a few tracks out right now, but I mean, like one of my biggest songs that I feel comfortable as a man, like as a person who made music, would be Usijali for me, because that spoke to a whole other type of fan base, more of a Swahili fan base. So it elevated it differently when I got over here.
And was that your first time actually working with Fenty Films?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Fenty. Yeah, that was actually no. To be honest, that was the first time working with him, editing the actual video, because the person, and shout out to them too, that shot the video was EK Visions. You know what I mean? And they shot every scene, like EK Visions shot every scene. And then I decided to go and take that footage and ask Fenty to help out with the editing due to him. Like I was watching him, he was just creative at that time. He was just starting up, and it was just a scheduling process. So it was a long story, but I mean, like, just to get it done, I had to use both parties just to get that video done. It was my first video actually here in Ottawa.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
And like you've made a few with him. Is there any other? Have you kind of seen any other videographer, like any other guys who film music videos? Murdy? Yeah,
Murdy.
for sure.
Shout out to Murdy. Shout out to who else? Ben Ford, of course.
Oh yeah.
He's sick with it. Shout out to
For sure.
Ghetto Visions as well. Shout out to who else? There's a couple people that they caught my attention. I mean, like when it comes to the video. But yeah, those are a few people.
Yeah, most definitely. And you actually, I saw you, obviously I mentioned this before, but I saw you perform at 613 Takeover.
Yep.
What was your first ever concert where you performed live?
Oh, I was back in Abu Dhabi as well. It was the Formula One race car. It was like the Formula One racetrack. They had a whole fan stage thing going on over there, so a pretty nice little decent crowd performed over there. That was my first time. opening for a show, and it was during the time when they would bring like Missy Elliott and Fabulous and like J. Cole and Wyclef. I mean, they had them on the bigger stage, but as long as you got to do like the fan zone and stuff, you would get up there, and you know what I mean, and you'd get to at least put out some local artists from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? Is there either in Ottawa? It could be Canada. It could be anywhere. Is there like kind of a dream live spot you want to perform at in the future?
For me,
Yeah. Whether it's a festival, whether
well, right now
it's
for
an
me,
arena or something.
I wanna hopefully within the next year, if not the next, rock out Blues Fest
Most definitely.
at some point. But I mean, at some point, I would want to do like a Rolling Loud or something like that. You know what I mean? And hopefully, I mean, I can't really front and say I wouldn't want to do something like that. But
Yeah.
the ultimate thing for me, I think the biggest show that I could ever admire to do it, it wouldn't be like most of these rappers would say, or say like Madison Square Garden. For me, it'd be Summer Jam, 97 Summer Jam. Because when I grew up, that was the show that you really got to see big artists, like artists of great, you know, statures. Like they just had big productions and whatnot. But yeah.
So your EP, it was called Deported, obviously, kind of an homage, I guess you could say, to your situation. How did that kind of come together? Putting together that EP.
Well, some of the tracks I had done previously, like before I got to Canada, I would say two of those songs. And the rest I put together when I was over here. And I would say it just, once I felt like I had all the songs that describe my return, I just felt like I could put it out now. And I always had that title in the back of my head because it was nice. It just felt like it had a nice vibe to it. It was very truthful. I had no cap to it at all. So once I had all the songs together, I just felt like I was ready to go. Just get the artwork done and prepare it for release completely.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And so obviously, you've been back in Canada for a few years. What is kind of like your 5-year plan from now on, just to see where you want to take your music?
Well, right now I plan on releasing more content. I need more videos out there. I need more interaction with whatever scene is out there. Wherever I am geographically, whether I decide to take my music somewhere else or continue to do it here, I need to be more involved with the whole scene. So I just got to continue to make music, connect with artists around the city, put out as much music as I can, and even artists outside. It doesn't necessarily have to be at all just only in Ottawa. It could be at any location, period. Just as long as I can get more in touch with the fan, then I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, most definitely. Is there anyone in Ottawa you either have a feature that you just kind of have in the vault, or is there somebody you would like to have on your song or on one of theirs?
I do have 2 people I'm working on songs with currently. That would be I would say, well, a few of them actually. It wouldn't be just 2, but just haven't gotten around to it just because of the whole, life. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna deny. I'm not gonna pretend. Yeah. But I would say DBD Motive. I would say Stiffy OTG. I would say who else do I got? Well, I'm supposed to be. I got a few. Oh, also Soulful again. Should have a song with him at some point. And who else? Oh, Piano as well. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Got something going on with that too. So yeah, just a few things prepping for. But I just gotta focus on my music right now. I got a single that's coming out, so yeah, I gotta focus on that at the moment.
For sure. And so obviously you have a single coming out.
Yep.
An unreleased piece.
Yep.
What's the name of the song?
Well, this one's actually called Where'd You Go? And it's got more of a harmonic vibe to it. I've tried to attempt different melodies within the beat, just not staying, focused on like rap, but more, harmonizing the song and, allowing the fan to actually get in tune with the rhythm of it. So, and it's more of a story too, it's got some points to it. I mean, like the hook itself, most people could, I guess connect to. If you've ever, been in that type of situation, I'm pretty sure you'll be like, you know what, that catches my attention.
Yeah.
Oh,
I definitely want to hear that song. Definitely want to
oh
have
yeah,
you play that song.
definitely.
But just before we get into playing of the song, what's whether you're in the studio, whether you're at your home writing, what is your creative process?
Um, can I keep it real?
Yeah.
100%. Like sometimes I'll just be driving, and what I'll do is I'll play a few beats, and you know what I mean. It depends on whatever mood I'm in. If I'm elevated, I might play some heavy tunes. But if I'm sitting alone, just trying to come up with a hook or something, I will sit in the car and actually write the whole song and pre-record it on my phone, maybe 3 to 4 times before I actually hit the studio and perfect that song. And the reason for that is because I haven't had the luxury of building my own complete studio, but at the same time, I'm in the process of that right now, actually. But I haven't been able to go to the studio and actually like write everything I want right there and make my music right there how I want. It's not the same over here, you know what I mean? You're on a timing, you're on a whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your audio engineer is kind of in a rush as well. You gotta understand that, respect that. So it's just more of I sit there, usually I'll if I'm writing a deep song, I'll zone out and think about like my own personal experiences. But if I'm writing a hook or a verse that I'm gonna have somebody else on the song with, then I'm gonna try my best to commit to whatever content they're trying to put out as well.
Yeah. For sure. Is there any like essentials you have to have with you? You gotta have your weed. You gotta have
Oh yeah,
a
of
little
course. I
liquor.
mean, no, I don't drink.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm more of I smoke before I hit the studio all the time.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and I've smoked since I was 12, so I'm not gonna deny that shit. So,
When was the first time actually you smoked?
mm,
The story of the first ever time smoking.
my older brother caught me catching, like I was watching him do it,
Yeah.
and he thought I was gonna go right about,
Yeah.
but I wasn't. I was just chilling. I was like, oh shit, because I had nothing better to do. So he grabbed me and he pulled me over. Like he was like, come with us. And we smoked and shit, and then I was zoned out after that. And I mean, it was young times. I think I was about 11 or 12. I can't remember, but yeah, about that time. I was over. I think it was between Britannia Beach and Ritchie. Just in between.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we actually, for the first time ever, just get a quick preview of the song?
Oh yeah, for sure, fam. I got you on that one. I mean, and you can give me your honest opinion too. Like you don't have to.
Of course.
I said, where'd you go? Where'd you go? I said, where'd you go? When I was low, nowhere to go. Where'd you go? I said, where'd you go? When I was low, nowhere to go.
I really like that. I think, you know what I mean? I think your career is going in the right way. I think, you know what I mean? If you keep dropping stuff like that, and I think the great thing about rap is that it's kind of like a bravado. It's kind of like you have to have like, real shit.
Facts.
If you don't put your real shit into it, if you don't put, you know what I mean, stuff that you've actually experienced, people are going to see it's fugazi. People are going to see, right through that stuff, and no, that stuff's real. I think, no, I definitely fuck with that, and no, I'm excited. So what's kind of some concepts you have for this music video? Some visuals you'd like to include?
Well, I mean, we're going to go with a little bit of indoor work. You know what I mean? A little bit of black and white visuals with rain. So this is a new attempt for us. I mean, Fenty's got, with smoke as well at the same time and shit. So, I mean, whatever idea he goes with, I'll be definitely on board. And my whole view of that would be just more of a get back up type of video. You know what I mean? Like, don't give up. Yeah. That would be the whole concept I would want to go with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm pretty sure he'll execute that properly. So.
And obviously, we're at the halfway mark of the year. Is there anything we should be expecting more from you this year?
Once I'm done with that, I mean, I'm doing my best to actually get on an East African mixtape. I'll be doing a feature over there, and after that, I guess I don't know my personal like focus on this, like my personal opinion towards focusing on this is hard to understand because I got to make moves from Ottawa in order to get out because I've been so used to moving from place to place when it comes to the music thing.
Yeah.
Like I recorded "Good to Go" from the EP in Malaysia. Like that wasn't recorded in Ottawa, that was recorded in Malaysia. So my plan is to actually get out there and hopefully I'm gonna try to head out to New York, see what's going on over there, and see if I can get with some video directors and whatnot. But yeah, the idea is to head out east, far east.
Yeah, that'd be a big career move. Is there, obviously you're, making moves in hip hop, but is there other genres you want to dabble in?
Dancehall. Actually, no, not dancehall. I would say raga. More of raga, because I'm a different type of vibes. Dancehall is more of a dance vibes. I'm more of a, the aggressive type. We're talking about the Buju Banton and just different, bunch of different. Like the Beanie Man is different. But yeah, I would go with Afrobeat. I definitely dabble in the Arab hip hop world. It's I'm definitely gonna get into the whole scene over there. Drop a few tracks for those who think I can't. I just give them a light little touch of from the actual EP that I just had out right now, like on Darkness. I give a few bars out there, but if I want to take it serious, I will, and maybe get into that field as well. And just see what I can get with. You know what I mean? I want to do a track with like a track that comes with like a whole idea and concept. I'm not into doing just you just want a verse, so I'll give you a verse. It's pointless unless you really want to like make a song. You know what I mean? A proper one.
Yeah, and just as we're closing out this interview,
Mm-hmm.
you got one last story just from growing up in Ottawa and just a fun memory of being out here.
The funnest memory, like the craziest, would be when we was youths. It was when we saw the OGs in the neighborhood, and they was heading out to Caravana. If he was like a youth and he was a D-boy, he was like really trying to get money out here, whatever. Like seeing the OGs go to Caravana as a kid, like it gave you like motivation to get out and go and do things, because you really didn't have shit. For you were just sitting there going, what am I doing? Because it was just school, home school, and there wasn't really much to life that time. The older you grow, the more you get to see more.
Experience more,
you know what I mean? So, yep, those were the fun times. Those were the fondest memories I would remember, like, or even like 3-on-3 basketball tournaments that we had back in the day, you know what I mean? Where it was very, it was the only childhood that most people who came out of there had.
Yeah.
They didn't have much.
Did you ever hoop for your team,
like
your school team?
No, yeah, I hope for D-Roy.
Oh shit, yeah.
Definitely, and I was on the juniors for Woodruff. But like I'm talking about like in the neighborhood when we had the like 3-on-3 tournaments, there was barbecues and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Kind of made you feel like there was those community days. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was more in tune, so people got to enjoy that more. Those are fun, great memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add? Just anything else you want to let the people know?
To be honest, this was like good vibes and everything. You know what I mean? I appreciated it for sure. And honestly, just look out. I got more work coming out. I'm not gonna get all hype and start throwing out random nonsense that I'm not gonna be doing. But I'm just telling you, like, look out. I got a few things like popping off soon, and hopefully, once all the paperwork is right and everything, let me get back on track and make the music that actually makes sense to me.
Yeah,
which is what I get comfortable with. But yeah, look out. Hopefully, a few more performances too. I might be getting on a few performances out in Tira, out in the 6th. So I mean, more to come. Just simple shows here and there, and yep,
Yeah,
music videos for sure. Yep.
So where can people follow you?
I mean, you can always find me at Bullet Shotta Official. That's the Instagram page, and on YouTube, Bullet Shotta as well. You can find me. You can just write Usijali. I'm the first one to pop off on YouTube. You'll see that definitely, and you can find me also on Facebook, Bullet Shotta, whatever. I mean, you know what I mean.
Bullet Shotta everywhere.
Bullet Shotta. You can even for any bookings or anything, you can contact me directly on my management, Bullet Shotta Management 01@gmail.com. I mean,
Yeah.
just link up and see the new videos to come out.
For sure. And we're gonna plug everything into the description just so everyone's easily accessible to your stuff.
Appreciate you.
We fuck with your work at Lane Switching big time.
I
We
appreciate
hope
you,
know what I mean. Your career keeps flourishing. You're already you're making big moves out here, and for sure in the Ottawa scene, it's not easy. So you know what I mean. You gotta give your flowers while you're still doing it.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate
congrats,
you.
man. Congrats on all the success we've had.
And more blessings towards you too as well, fam. More blessings. Hopefully more shows, more connects, more build up, and
for sure.
Much more success for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more content coming on the way. That was Lane Switching. That was our Bullet Shotta interview. Appreciate you coming in, my guy. That's a big one.
Appreciate you, bro. You're a good man.
Lane Switching. It's DF2.
We out here.
It's Bullet Shotta. Peace.
I appreciate you, man, for this. This is real. This was a real one. I appreciate you.